Today, I am reviewing the YESWELDER 135A MIG Welder. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. If you have ever wanted to get into welding but felt intimidated by the massive, expensive machines at the local hardware store, you have probably stumbled across the YESWELDER 135A MIG Welder. I have been putting this little machine through its paces in my shop for the last few weeks, and I have some honest thoughts on whether this budget-friendly 3-in-1 unit is actually worth your garage space, or if it is just a flashy paperweight. If you want to check the current pricing or see exactly what comes in the box, you can find the link in the description below. When you first pull this thing out of the box, the first thing you notice is how incredibly light it is. At just over 11 pounds, you can carry it around with one hand, which is a massive departure from the heavy transformer-based welders many of us grew up using. It is marketed as a 3-in-1 machine, meaning it handles flux core MIG, stick, and lift TIG. Right out of the gate, I need to clarify that if you are buying this for the TIG function, you need to be aware that the TIG torch is not included in the box. You have to buy that separately, which is a bit of a hidden cost if that is your primary goal. For most people, the main draw here is the flux core MIG welding. I spent most of my time testing the synergic control feature. The idea is that the machine automatically matches the voltage to your wire feed speed, which is supposed to take the guesswork out of setup. In practice, I found that for a beginner, this works surprisingly well. It gets you in the ballpark of a decent weld almost immediately. However, if you are an experienced welder who likes to dial in specific arcs, you might find the synergic settings a little limiting. Thankfully, there is a plus or minus 3-volt micro adjustment that lets you tweak things, which I found myself using constantly on thinner pieces of steel. It is not perfect, but for a machine at this price point, it is a very helpful tool to prevent those frustrating burn-throughs on auto body panels. The build quality is what you would expect for the price. It feels like a consumer-grade tool, not an industrial workhorse. The plastic housing is sturdy enough for light shop use, but I would not want to drop this thing on a concrete floor too many times. The digital display is actually a highlight. It is bright and easy to read, even when you have the shop lights cranked up or you are working near an open garage door. Being able to see your current settings in real time is a massive upgrade over the old-school dial and hope methods found on older budget welders. Now, let's talk about the actual welding experience. On 110-volt power, you are limited by the physics of your wall outlet. The 135 amp output is plenty for mild steel up to about 3/32 of an inch. I ran some test beads on some scrap angle iron and square tubing, and the arc stability was better than I expected. It is not as smooth as a high-end Miller or Lincoln, but it is consistent. The wire feed system, which is often the weak point on budget welders, held up well during my testing. I didn't experience any bird nesting or jamming, provided I kept the tension set correctly. However, this machine is not without its disappointments. The duty cycle is something you need to be realistic about. If you are planning on welding for long, continuous stretches, you're going to hit the thermal protection limit pretty quickly. This is a machine built for hobbyists, small repairs, and light fabrication. If you try to push it too hard for too long, the internal safety features will kick in and shut you down to cool off. It is a necessary feature to keep the electronics from frying, but it can be annoying if you are in the middle of a project. Another thing to keep in mind is the flux core wire. The machine comes with some starter wire, and it is perfectly fine for learning, but don't expect premium results right away. You will definitely want to experiment with different brands of wire as you get more comfortable. Also, while it is marketed as a gasless welder, if you want to switch to gas-shielded MIG later, you will need to buy a separate regulator and a gas bottle, which adds to the total investment. So, who is this actually for? If you are a DIYer who wants to fix a broken lawnmower deck, build a simple workbench, or learn the basics of metal fabrication without dropping $1,000, this is a fantastic entry point. It is portable, the learning curve is relatively shallow thanks to the synergic controls, and it gets the job done for most household tasks. If you are a professional fabricator looking for a daily driver for the shop, this is not the tool for you. You will quickly find the limitations in duty cycle and power output frustrating. If you are a total beginner, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is to spend some time practicing on scrap metal before you touch your actual project. The machine does a lot of the heavy lifting, but it cannot make up for poor torch speed or improper angle. If you are interested in picking one up, remember to check the links in the description below to see the current price and availability. Overall, the YESWELDER 135A is a balanced compromise. It gives you a lot of features for a very competitive price, and while it doesn't offer the refinement of a high-end professional machine, it offers enough performance to make it a legitimate tool for the home garage. It is reliable enough to be useful, affordable enough to be accessible, and simple enough to keep you focused on learning rather than fighting with your settings. If you go into this with realistic expectations about its power and duty cycle, you will likely be quite happy with what it can do.